doing that dry?
Because if there's any burrs or anything, if we get it wet and then try and do this, it'll slide over the burrs because it'll be lubricated. I don't want to hit something and it slide over it. I want it to hit it and mash it out.
Right.
What this will also do is it'll help knock off any burrs.
Okay, what are burrs? Is it just like the sharp edging thing?
Like this black shit, whatever this is, we gotta get all this off.
Yeah, we gotta find all that.
Yeah, we gotta get all that.
There's a ton of it.
We gotta make sure we get all that out because if it's something that can melt once it gets up to temperature, because we have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
So if it's something that can melt under temperature and then cool
inside
off and solidify, if it gets on any kind of bearing surface or anything like that, it would cause problems. Once I get to the point of hooking my cleaner up, I've already scrubbed everything. I like the different depths because over here it looks like seafoam green.
Right?
But then over here, when it was sunny,
where the sun, it's like super
blue.
bright blue.
Yeah.
It doesn't start spraying right away, right? It's connected to the liquid.
Spray through here. Like put the tip of it in there.
Really?
And spray it. See how it's
out there?
Stick it down in there. I had these blocked off, you didn't see it, but it held fluid in there because I had these two up here blocked off. If you spray through this one, it'll should evenly spray through it, all of it.
All right, now we are basically measuring out where we are drilling out the holes for the camshaft bearings, and these will not move when we put them in the block. Are basically putting marks on the areas of figuring out where we have to drill on the cam bearings, and they look like this. Not anything crazy, but they do have two holes. One hole here and one hole there. And those are the stock holes for where the oil comes out, but this one's different, and we're making a smaller hole which will increase the oil pressure. We want these holes basically as a reserve on the other side, which is a flat side of the camshaft bearing. It's not flat, but it doesn't have a hole to line up. I'm gonna line up the holes, basically this hole on the opposite of where I put the mark. And I put the mark where the oil comes out of in the block, which is where we were gonna drill the hole in this camshaft bearing. So I'm kind of putting them opposite. Transfer the marks onto the camshaft bearing. So one there, and then we're gonna mark this as number 3, since each size of the camshaft bearings are different from each other. We do not want to confuse them, otherwise we'll have to take them out and redo them. Oh, if this focuses. All right, and for the 4th camshaft bearing, we did the same marks, but we drew the arrow towards us. Okay.
So you just kind of gotta. So
yay, so the hole ends up with where the oil comes out of. And it's good.
What we're doing is we're testing.
Not even lubing it up.
No, raw dog all night. We're just looking to make sure it goes in and out easily. And it spins freely. You might want to take your jacket off. You can get lube everywhere.
Actually?
What? So you're gonna get some oil on there. And then
You're not putting it in the hole?
I mean,
just
it's
all
gonna
over
get in the hole.
Yeah, but you're not. I thought you would fill up the hole or
You
something.
you really just want to get it around the outside. That's where the fun is.
Okay.
And then you're gonna pick your crank up, and you're gonna put it in.
Drop it in.
Okay. But don't. Okay. Number 1, don't drop your fucking crank.
So you gotta line it up.
And make sure you line it up as perfect as you can, because you don't want to scar up your journals.
Oh god, this comes out fast. This is going in. Which way does it go? Literally this way.
Yeah,
I would
literally
assume.
the way it's sitting on the table.
Fuck, because it would be easier to go like that. God, this is
Do you need help?
probably, yeah. Because I don't know if I can. Jeez. There we go.
Good job.
Wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that's really heavy.
Yeah. These weigh almost as much as the blocks do.
Lubrication.
You're going to lube your bearing. Then you're going to take it, make sure the arrow's pointing to the front of the motor. These will only go one way, and they'll only fit in one position because
The
they're
dowels.
And then tap it down.
Sounds
You
good.
got to make sure it's seated before we can put the nuts and stuff on.
Yeah.
Every moving part that we put together on this engine will be lubricated before it's installed.
God, it doesn't seat as good, is that? Is that in?
You gotta quit hitting it with your purse and hit it with your muscles. Look at the base of the cap.
I mean, it looks good. Because I was used to the hollow sound, but now with the crank in there, it doesn't have that, like, 4. Oh gosh, wait. 4 is backwards this way, right?
The arrow points to the front of the motor. And they will go in backwards. Don't hit your crank.
That's what I'm trying not to do. I think it's in. Doing number 5. What's the tactic for not hitting this? Oh God. I think
Because
it's
that piece
seated.
of wood, the wood on that handle isn't gonna
Break
tear up
her.
the crank.
Number 2. Number 2 with the arrows towards me. I'm gonna rotate the crank so it's not touching where I need to hit. Oh, what's that?
Your windage tray.
Windage tray?
So you're going to use the ARP fastener lubricant
And go everywhere.
and a little bit around the base, some on the threads. It will come off in the break-in oil, but it is very distracting when you cut your oil filter open and then you got a whole bunch of glittery shit and you don't know where it's coming from.
So that's good to know. So if there's stuff in the oil, it's probably this.
Oh, there will be stuff in your oil.
This is like the same process as the other day. Just putting on all this ARP fastener assembly lubricant on all of these studs that go through the mains. So you already dropped in the camshaft.
Let's see if this fits in. Oh, it's backwards. Okay, I was
I was like, why aren't they lining up? There we go.
Cool.
It's on 60.
On 60. Go through and do all your centers. Did you tap it to make sure it was flush? Setting down?
Yep. I oiled the skirts.
Did you oil the rod bearing?
Yeah.
Slam it down.
Yeah.
Oh!
Wow. That was a good one.
start on a 0 on your deck. We've already found top distance for your piston. So this is showing that you're 8 inside the hole, and this side is 7.
So the back and front are different.
The piston can rock back and forth. See, so we're 7.5 in the hole. 7.5, 7.5-ish. So I'd call that 7.5 thousandths inside the hole. So your piston is 7.5 thousandths lower than your deck surface.
Right, it's that deep inside. You can't even tell. It looks flat. You can see a little change. Alright, we got the new GPI cam about to open. This is a custom grind. It's finally time to put in the camshaft into the motor. Should we take this out, and we have to clean it with brake cleaner and stuff, right?
Really what you want to do is take off the packing oil.
All the oil that's on it?
Yeah.
So we're cleaning the cam just so we can take off all the oil that was on it in the packaging. And once we clean it with brake cleaner really good, we're gonna grease it up and stick it in the motor. They're talking that this thing should make like 700, but I was like, yeah, this thing's not making 700 wheel. And they're like, it's pretty normal for NA cars to make 700. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot of power. That'd be unreal. What is that yellow stuff?
I don't know.
Fuck.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bat it just to be on the safe side. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to lube your shaft, okay?
I'm gonna like cover it, right?
Like, not too, you ain't got to get too careful.
Okay.
But your main points are here, 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 and here, okay? That's what's going to be in your cam bearing.
Okay. This whole top.
Try to visualize it floating.
Doesn't like it. There we go.
Alright.
Yay!
What you're going to do is you're going to get grease on your fingers and shove them down in your lifter bore and try and get grease in your lifter bores so that those will be lubricated for when we install the lifters into those holes.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whichever fingers feel more natural for you, and then put them in the hole. See, I like to use my index and then my ring finger. And my middle finger kind of float over in the space in between the lifter bores.
Yeah, my fingers are tiny. I don't have practice.
Cut it off. I'm done.
We had lots of good conversations today.
He's like, what the?
All guys have the same humor. It's all the same. God, I should put this backwards as a joke, and you look at it and the little like orange gas things on the outside.
Yeah.
So you're just pressing in that crank gear all the way in with another crank gear.
Has a spacer. And then using a harmonic balancer installer, push it. And you push it until you're seated. And you'll look underneath it and you can tell that it's seated. And then you can undo your tooling.
And the pink is just in a random place?
It seems random, but it's not random at all because of the keyway that is in your crank. It's machined specifically for that spot.
On the crank?
Yes,
to
on
that.
the crank, because your crank is what sets your timing.
Come on. Come on, man. Hold the motor.
Oh, don't put your hands.
Put some water in the radiator.
Oh.
Oh, look at it go.
Match the arrows up.
And then it snaps on.
Oh, they are ARPs.
They are.
Heck yeah.
And then do that 2 more times to secure your cam gear. And then these will torque to 25 foot-pounds.
Sweet.
Now your cam will spin alongside.
I'll spin with the crank.
So, I want to make sure that you can turn it over easily with the cam in. Because if you can't spin the cam easily, that means you probably have a bearing installed issue.
Oh, okay.
Another thing you'll notice is, let's say you're up here and you're not in line there. So there's 2 revolutions of the crank per 1 revolution of the cam.
The oil pan's bigger than the motor.
That's gonna look really good.
It looks so weird upside down. So we're checking the port alignment in there, and you can see, once I get the flashlight in there, you can see that it doesn't really line up with the port exactly. You see like a little step, like it's on the inside of the port, so we're just gonna sand that so it's perfectly even, because we don't want the air to go around the step in every single one.
That's what I was
So it just needs a little bit fixed. That one's actually pretty good in there.
I was hanging over, I was like, man.
And that one looks pretty good too.
They step down.
Just making little changes just to make the airflow a lot better and smoother, so it's like a flat line. I took the intake manifold to like the vinyl shop to do vinyl on the MSD logo, and they couldn't get it to stick. So I've been sanding down the MSD and Atomic Air Force logo, because now it's like a gray finish, which is way better than the red for me. So I'm just taking like a sand block, which is a piece of wood, and then 150 grit sandpaper, and just doing it in like a horizontal movement to get rid of the red paint on the intake manifold. It doesn't change anything performance-wise, obviously, it just changes the aesthetics so it matches all the color on my engine bay. And I might hand paint these white to match the car. And I masked off where I'm like sanding it down, just so I don't scratch up the rest of the manifold, because I want the manifold to be how it is. It's all gray, so it matches the car. Maybe I'll paint it white after, but we're gonna put it on the engine dyno first. So I just wanted the red off of it so it matches the rest of the engine block and the valve covers and everything. The red just doesn't match with my build, but great quality intake, so had to keep with it, just got rid of the red. No hard feelings.